Hey guys, in today's episode we are covering a ton of ground today because I have a very special interview with one of my favorite people in this community, Manny, aka at Frisky Hug. We talk about everything from the evolution of music festival culture to men's rave and festival fashion, creating content, and how he got his infamous rave name, among many other things. So let's get right into it. Welcome back to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I am your host, Emma Kapotes. Welcome to episode 43, you guys. We are creeping up on a year of Rave Culture Cast, which is crazy. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope you're all having an awesome week so far. We have an incredible interview coming up in this episode today, so I kind of want to just get right into things. But before I do so, again, huge shout out to all you guys for checking out the podcast. Make this your Instagram stories today. Share a link with a friend, post it on your Twitter, blast it out, copy and paste it in your group chat today for your rave fam. I really appreciate you guys spreading the word, and we grow this family through you guys, through your support, and through you guys talking about it. So thank you all so much for your support and dedication every week. And if you guys have 60 seconds of your time and you want to rate and review on iTunes, please do so. That helps with the discovery of the podcast. So thank you guys so much for doing that. What else? You guys can follow along with us on social media. My personal account is at Emma Kapotes. That's EMMAKAPOTES. And at Rave Culture Cast on Instagram and on Twitter, just to follow along with everything we have going on. I'm always looking for submissions, you guys. I really want your input on the episodes and what content we have coming out in the future. So please feel free to send any feedback you guys have, DM me, reach out. And yeah, any suggestions on topics, people you want me to interview, let me know. Also, if you guys have a favorite raver or influencer, whatever it is, DJ, somebody in this space, send the podcast to them, tell them to check it out. I would really, really appreciate the support because I do have some more interviews lined up, which I'm really, really enjoying doing. It's so fun learning about other people in the community. So yeah, if you guys reach out to someone on my behalf, I really appreciate it. We'll get some exciting people on here for you guys. And today is one of those cases. We have Frisky Hug coming on. I cannot wait for you guys to meet him. Frisky Hug and I, or Manny and I, met for the first time at Imagine Music Festival. I'll tell you a little bit more in a bit about him and what this episode's going to be about. But yeah, I have had the pleasure of meeting him twice now. I love following his content. He has a YouTube channel. He's big on Instagram. Guys, he's the most entertaining person to follow. So again, at Frisky Hug, huge shout out to him. Go support, go give him a follow, show him some love. But before we get into all of that, you guys, let's do our listener of the week. We have some submissions for that. So for those of you who don't know, every week I love to highlight one of our listeners. I just want to shout people out. It's been really cool celebrating people in our community and our listeners. So if you want to nominate anyone, please send an email to raveculturecast@gmail.com. That's raveculturecast@gmail.com with your listener of the week nominations, and let me know why they deserve a shout out. So this week, let's open this email. I never pre-screen these, so hopefully they're good. Okay, this one is from Lauren. It says, "Hi Emma, my name is Lauren Laguna." Oh, you might recognize me from your Instagram DMs. "I wanted to nominate two of my very close friends that are actually boyfriends / my rave dads. Their names are Javier and Moses. The reason why I wanted to shout them out was because they are the reason I discovered the EDM culture, which I am now obsessed with. I've heard certain mainstream EDM songs on the radio, but I had no idea the culture behind it and the different types of genres. They were the ones that took me to my first show at Stereo Live, which is an EDM venue club. One of my first shows was Morgan Page, and I have never looked back. From them taking me to my first festival, which was Freaky Deaky, to taking care of me throughout my first role, they are the MVPs of rave dads. They always got the Pedialyte on deck and wipes for the porta potties at festivals. Shout out, guys. Rave dads and moms, we hear you. We see you. I mean this in a very serious way when I say my life won't ever be the same because of them. Oh, sorry, excuse me, because of them and because I just love EDM, especially house music. Now we are all going to EDC 2020 for my first time, including Camp EDC, and I cannot wait. Thank you for shouting them out, and thank you for your amazing videos. You guys are gonna have so much fun at EDC and at Camp EDC. I've heard nothing but good things, so please enjoy that on my behalf. This picture of me is in the green wig, our friend Victoria and my rave dads. This is at Decadence, Colorado a couple weeks ago. We had the best time. You guys look amazing. If I remember, I'll put this photo up on the YouTube channel. Wow, shout out to the Rave fam. That was super sweet. Thank you, Lauren, for your nomination. So Javier, Moses, our Rave dads, you guys are our listeners of the week. It's just really incredible to see friends that form in this community and like how people get involved and introduced to things. I think that's like something that we all love. There's like no feeling like introducing someone for the first time to like their first show or their first festival, and seeing it become a huge part of someone's life is like the most rewarding thing about all of this. So that is so fucking awesome. I'm glad you have a very incredible support system and Rave fam. So shout out to all of you guys. I hope you all have an awesome day. All right, guys, so please send me in your nominations for Listener of the Week. Again, email me raveculturecast@gmail.com with a note similar to that. That's all we're looking for. We just want to spread some love and make some people smile. So super excited. Okay, really quick announcements because I don't want to have the longest intro ever. So some of you guys might know I am a member of Pollen, which means that I promote for a whole bunch of different festivals. I bring you guys exclusive deals on tickets, express entry, money off, all kinds of fun things. I also have trips and excursions. But anyway, I am selling a whole bunch of tickets. So if you guys DM me on Instagram at Emma Kapotes or at raveculturecast, you guys can pick up tickets through me to, I'm just gonna name a whole bunch, Envision, Ubby Dubby, Governor's Ball. We now have single day tickets available, as well as 3-day GA and VIP. I have Lightning in a Bottle, Phoenix Lights, Elements Lakewood, Crush Arizona. What else do I have? There's like a whole bunch. Sunset Music Festival is a new one. Bonnaroo is going really fast. Hopefully I still have some left. Ever After I'm selling. High Water Festival, Escapade, Shaky Boots, Shaky Knees, Voodoo Festival, amongst many others. I have a ton of tickets also to local shows near New York City and Brooklyn. So all my people that are living near me, hit me up for tickets. I'm happy to help you out with that, you guys. Also, I announced in last week's episode my festival schedule for 2020. So really quickly, if you guys missed that, you guys can catch me at my first festival, Ultra Miami. So fucking excited about that. I'm gonna have a lot of content coming out around Ultra, so hope to see you guys there. Ubby Dubby I will be at. I'm also gonna be having meetups at all of these, so you guys, there will be totally an opportunity to meet up in person and say hello. Then I'm gonna be at Governor's Ball. I'm not sure how many days, but I'll definitely make an appearance there. Electric Forest, cannot wait for that. It's gonna be my biggest festival of the year. I'm gonna try and do Moonrise for the first time. Definitely Electric Zoo, because that's like around where I live. I go there as much as I can. And EDC Orlando I will be back at, and I will be staying at home base. So that's where you guys can find me this year. Very, very excited about a very busy, exciting festival season, so get pumped for that. Okay, last thing quickly before we get into the episode. I'm looking for upcoming submissions. The episode is gonna be all about our most unforgettable rave or festival moments. So I wanna hear your stories, whether they be heartwarming, emotional, feelsy, I don't care. I wanna hear your beautiful stories of your most unforgettable moments at festivals or at raves. So please send everything in to raveculturecast@gmail.com. Again, that is raveculturecast@gmail.com. Let me know what moments are the most unforgettable for you and why. That is gonna be, I just feel like a very impactful episode. I cannot wait to read everyone's stories and share mine with you as well. So please send those in as soon as you guys can. Alrighty, so let's get into today's topic and introduction to Manny, aka Frisky Hug. So Manny and I became familiar with Manny just through Instagram, I believe. Like, we have friends of friends, and obviously, like, as I become more involved in this community, I am more and more aware of all of the content creators, influencers, people that I should know in this community. Manny is one of those people. So I finally met him at Imagine Music Festival. He was exactly what I thought he was gonna be. His personality is contagious, you guys. You will see that in today's episode. He is so energetic and vibrant and fun and just like full of life, and he's just one of these people that you can tell just like loves what he's doing and enjoys life. And he just has this like really big circle of friends and people in this community. So I really just wanted to learn more about him, and I wanted to introduce him to you guys as well, because that's like the part of the fun of this whole podcast. So anyway, so we met at Imagine. It was so much fun. We had a great weekend. It was really cool to just finally get to know him a little bit. And then I saw him again at EDC Orlando. He's also friends with some of the Lunchbox team. So again, friends of friends. And his content online is so entertaining, guys. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on YouTube. He's got a whole bunch of new festival vlogs up there, after movies, incredible content. It's so entertaining, and he is even more fun in person when you get to know him. So I just wanted to share that with you and introduce him. We covered so many different topics, so I'm actually really excited for you guys to hear this because we just jumped around. So I really loved this conversation. We had a lot of fun. I was laughing my ass off. So I hope that this brings you guys some joy today. But we covered everything from like the evolution of music festival culture and like how that has changed in the last few years. We've both been raving, rave names, how he came to be as Frisky Hug, men's rave fashion. We talk a little bit about what it's like creating a network of people in this community. We talk about hoeing out. We talk about creating after movies and vlogs and all of the things. So get excited for this interview. It's really, really great. And yeah, and go follow him, go support him, show him some love. And I think that's all I have. So let's get into this interview with Frisky Hug. How's it going? You have a busy weekend.
Yeah, it was wild.
It happened already?
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, okay. What were you doing?
So Shaq has like this Super Bowl party that he does every year.
Okay.
I think last year he hosted in Atlanta, and then this year he hosted in Miami. And it's like a one-day rave, but it's also like not really a rave. It's just like a bunch of rich people trying to be ravers, I guess. It was weird. It was like really bougie, and then like me and Fresh Raver were like running around like nobody was like we didn't know anybody. Nobody knew what candy was there. It was like non-existent. It was like
interesting. Okay, so it was more like a closed crowd kind of thing.
I mean, the tickets were $400
Ooh, wow.
for one day. So that kind of gives you like an idea of like the people who are showing up. It was like all of Shaq's friends, like.
Okay, so you're super busy. So I'm so happy to have you on today. I cannot wait to share this episode. So thank you so much for doing this. I know you're running around.
I know this week has just been crazy, and I was like, I'll bring my microphone. We got this. Like,
oh hell yeah,
too easy. We can do this.
All right, well, I'm so excited to have you guys. So for everyone who's listening who doesn't know, we met for the first time at Imagine Music Festival, which was awesome. And then since then, I've seen you at EDC Orlando, and I just became familiar with you online. And then meeting you in person, you just have such like a great personality and a vibrancy about you. And I was like, you would be great to introduce to the Rave Culture Cast audience. So just to kick things off, I would love for you to just like introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about like your story.
Okay, so I'm Frisky Hug, but my real name is Manny. I actually am a soldier in the United States Army. I'm actually in a special forces group, and I work as an oral maxillofacial surgery technician there.
Wow.
Yeah,
no idea.
Nobody does. I was like, I was putting it out there.
Nice.
It was funny because I was hanging out with the Fresh River, and he's like, what do you do anyways? And honestly, he was like so intrigued. We spent an hour just talking about like what I did, and I'm like, let's switch it up. What do you do? And then when he was telling me what he does, I'm like, dude, it's weird. Like nobody thinks we have this like life outside of raving, but it's like when we're talking about it, it's like he was working all day yesterday. Like he was on phone doing conference calls, and I was like, he had his laptop, I had my laptop, and we're like.
That's so funny. I know everyone has this whole second life or like full-time job on the side. It's crazy.
And it's funny because people go like, are you out of the Army now? Like, I just see you raving. And I'm like, no, I'm just in a special forces group. So, like, I literally have so much time off and a lot of flexibility that I could just do whatever I want, whenever. Like, I literally had patients yesterday, and I literally just moved around my patients just so I go to Shaq's party.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. But a little bit about like my background is I actually wasn't always like a rave, like big on like the whole rave scene. I was actually a gamer first. So I was big into gaming. I actually used to work for Activision, and I was a game tester there. And I still have it, but like I kind of like let this channel die, but it was a gaming channel for Call of Duty. it's like a whole different community, right, of like gamers.
Right.
So like I would do montages, do documentaries, do commentaries. You know how like you do commentaries with like other like collabs. I would do collabs, but with like other gaming YouTubers. So it's like the same concept, but in a different community.
Right.
And it's crazy how similar these communities are, because I came from like a gaming channel where like everybody was following me for my gaming content.
Yep.
And when I decided I just didn't want to do gaming anymore, I kind of just let it die, and I haven't like really uploaded on that channel for like 8 years. It's been a while, but it's funny because back in those days I would hang out with my friends and we'd all go to like a little party, and we'd all go into like a random multiplayer game, and people would be like, "Oh my god, I know you from your YouTube videos," and then like it's so funny because like I noticed that now in the EDM scene as well. You like, you're bumping people that just know you and just like.
I know, it's a whole other community on top of everything.
And we're like blinded by how many communities there are. I have a friend who's like into streaming, and he goes and he like knows all these streamers, and then you have your furry conventions, and you have like a whole community of them, and it's like we are all our little like communities, and it's super funny. I love it.
I had no idea you did that. Wait, so okay, so besides the content, when did you just start getting into like raving and music festivals in general? When did that start for you?
I can't remember if it was 2011 or 2012.
Okay.
My buddy Stuart told me, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, well, we're going to go to a club if you want to come." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Like, what kind of club is it? He's like, "Oh, it's like David Guetta, that kind of club." So I'm thinking like, oh, a DJ, like, in a small club, just going to be playing some David Guetta music. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I got my button-up shirt, looking all fancy, and I get there, and everyone's just like on another planet, and I'm like, where am I? What is this?
Right. So that's how you got involved. Where was that?
That was in California, Los Angeles, at the Hollywood Palladium.
Okay.
It was Steve Angelo, so one of the Swedish House Mafia guys.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I was like, I don't know who Steve Angelo is, and my buddy was like, "Oh, he's part of Swedish House Mafia," and I was like, "Oh, I know a couple of their songs," and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but I didn't like. When I went to that rave, I didn't plan on just going to the rave. I didn't think it was gonna be like that big of a deal. Everyone's tired now. Like, I actually went bungee jumping right after that too.
Oh, no way! You're all over the place. It's so crazy.
It was fun.
Yeah. Oh my god! Wait, so are you originally from California?
So I'm originally from California. I'm actually from a town called San Luis Obispo. Okay. I don't know if have you ever seen the movie Under the Electric Sky?
Yes, my favorite.
Okay, so did you ever like remember that like firefighter?
Yep.
That's my friend Nick Abarca. We're from the same.
No way.
That's he's from our hometown. We're all like part of like that same hometown.
Okay.
He actually hosts, like the Fresh River hosts like Fresh Raves.
Yeah.
Well, Nick Abarca has his own raves every single month in that community, and like in. Awesome. That's kind of where I started like raving more, and then I kind of like but I didn't like let it stop me there. When I started raving back in, I really took off in 2013. That's like when I like just every month I was just hitting raves, every like 2 weeks hitting raves.
Wow. That's so crazy. Were you in the military at that point too?
I wasn't. I wasn't. I was actually I was still doing some gaming stuff. And I was actually working for a helicopter company. I was an inspector for helicopter parts.
Damn! Oh my god, you have like so many different like avenues to go down. It's crazy.
I know. I get bored really easily, and I'm just like, sent for something new, Yeah,
what's something exciting? Okay, and so now you currently live in Denver, right?
So yeah, I live in Colorado Springs, just like an hour south of Denver, and the community there is amazing. I didn't think it was a huge EDM community there, but then once you like kind of dive in there, you realize that there's a rave every single day.
Right.
Every day, and there's so Tommy, right? We were trying to figure out plans, and I literally just gave him like a sheet full of just events that are going on this weekend, and we're like choosing well,
there's a lot of people moving there too. I just noticed. Like I know 3 people within like the EDM community just moved to Denver, and I was like, am I missing something? Is this like the new like LA, or like what the hell is going on?
I think Amanda was. I was talking to her yesterday. She was trying to get the Rave Doctor like crew to like move over to Denver, and she's like, like kind of playing puppet master, trying to like get them to come over there. I'm like, that's so funny. Like everyone's gonna be in Denver.
Well, besides like I guess like obviously you have Red Rocks and there's like a music community there, but I'm just curious, like what is it about Denver that made you want to move there? Besides that, like do you just love the community there, or?
It's actually like a really big community, and like I think like networking wise, there's a lot of people there that like you could just network. Like, I mean, where's Amanda just moved there, right? And like, and then like when you're talking like influencers, you got all these like influencers that just like moving there, right?
Yeah.
And then when you're talking like DJs, like Midnight T, like he lives there. You know, Elenium lives there. I mean, you have all these DJs that just live there, and it's like it's crazy because like they'll have an event with like a certain artist, and then all of a sudden, surprise, Elenium.
Yeah. I know. Well, I can't even imagine. It's got to be just so beautiful there too, and I'm sure like they say like Colorado are some of the healthiest people in the United States too, so they've got some things going for them.
It's also like for like 4,000 to 6,000 like higher in elevation, so it took me like a month to just kind of get used to the elevation. But the first thing I did, if you ever go to like Denver, Colorado Springs area, is there's something called the incline. So it's like you like these stairs, like kind of like the Stairway to Heaven kind of deal, but just not as big. But it's really nice view. And then like the second thing I did was I hiked Pikes Peak, which is like the super peak. There's actually 14 like big like peaks that you can that you can hike, and they're called the 14ers, you know. And it's a great place to kind of just go hiking, and that's kind of like where I kind of started when I moved there. I just started hiking. I've already done like 4 peaks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's super outdoorsy, but. I think the downside with like Colorado is that the snow will just get you like this. Like,
oh man.
so like Amanda was also at the Shaq thing, right? So she left earlier yesterday, like super early, or no, 2 days ago, right? So she left super early, and then I'm like, okay, I'm catching my flight a little bit later, and I'm gonna on my way there, it's beautiful day, just amazing, and then all of a sudden, boom, blizzard. And I'm like, this sucks. I'm like, so like now I'm almost late for my flight. So I'm like, okay, like I was like 20 minutes like shy from like missing my flight.
Oh
and
my God.
Originally I had like 2 hours to spare, but all of a sudden we're going like 35 miles an hour on the freeway. That's the only like downside. It's like the weather will like just hit you out of nowhere.
All right, well, hopefully in October when I go, it'll be nice. I'm excited to see it.
Oh, you're going to see tons of snow in October.
No, can't wait. That's right. We'll just be in a house and everything. But, oh, my God. Well, it's really interesting just to hear, like, all the different paths you've been on. And I do want to talk to you a little bit about your network. I have, like, a couple random topics just to, like, shoot at you so we can just go through a bunch. But just start from the beginning. Where did the name Frisky Hug come from?
Oh my gosh, man, I haven't been asked that in a really long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2013, was the first time I ever went to like a big festival. I went to EDC Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And I was still very naive in the whole rave community, like on the whole like rave scene. So like me going into like a rave, I was not prepared.
Right.
I bought a ticket to EDC like the weekend before, and I was like, I'm going to EDC, whatever this is, you know. And I bumped I bumped the floor from one of my friends. I'm like, hey, I just need like a spot, and I get so hammered, and like the entire weekend, it's like all a big blur. I guess that when I was at EDC, I was like, how to put this? I was a whore.
There it is. Just let it all out. This is R-rated podcast.
Yeah, I was. I was over 9,000 like whore level, and
so
I was like, I like kind of went to this group, right? And my buddy was like, the next day, he's like, hey, come hang out with us again. You were super cool, you know. Just like no more being like super frisky like you were last night, and after that, right? And like he just kept calling me frisky. And then he's like, hey, does anyone ever like give you your rave name? I'm like, I don't even know what a rave name is.
Right.
He's like, okay, well, because of the first night when I first met you and all the things you were doing, I'm going to call you Frisky, you know? Nice. And so after like the whole, he gave me like my whole Frisky thing, I was like, I kind of just owned it. At first I was a little embarrassed because like, oh, like he literally gave me like the worst rave name anyone could have ever thought of. Like, that's like embarrassing, you know? And I think after a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to own it. I'm going to own it. I'm going to make it my thing. I started wearing free hug stuff everywhere. I had a totem for free hugs, you know, and then I started making candy that, you know, just said Frisky Hug on it. And I was like, and And it was funny. I was looking through my old pictures, and I had been making Frisky Hug candy since 2013.
Yeah, so
You know,
forever, yeah.
and I was like, man, that was a long time ago. I literally didn't remember like when the first time I started making Frisky Hug candy was. But then I have a picture, and it goes all the way back to 2013. Like, that is crazy. I didn't think like it was like making candy that far back.
I love the stories behind it though, and I think it's catchy and it totally describes you. Like, it's just the best thing because festivals and like this whole community is very loving and welcoming, and like it's such an easy place to meet people. So I kind of love that it's become this like whole personality for you.
Oh my god!
You have a flag now. The flag.
Oh, I made it. Yeah, I made a flag. I have a flag. I have 2 flags actually. I lost one. And I made a totem, but it's really hard because like you can't always like take these things to like festivals. So like unless I'm driving, it was like it's okay. But funny story. So yesterday, this new guy kind of came into our pregame party thing that we were having. He's one of Scott's friends, the Rave Dr. Scott. It's one of his friends, right? And he's like, hey, guys, I'm here, but I'm not a raver. It's my first time going to one of these things. And I'm like, hey, well, you know, you picked the perfect place to come in and to kind of hang out with us. And so Fresh Raver was there, and then, you know, he goes, oh, so why do you look like a deodorant? He had his jersey on, right? He goes, oh, I'm the Fresh Raver. He was telling his story. He goes, so you just put like deodorant on people? Right? And for him, he was like this. He just cracked up laughing. And like to us, it's like, you know, he's the Fresh Raver.
When you think about it.
But when you think about it, you're like, thinking of like a random person looking at it and like, yeah, it's a little weird, you know, like, okay, we don't think like that.
Community. yeah.
We're just so used to where we're just like jaded. And then he goes up to me, he goes, so your shirt says Frisky Hug, let me guess, you hug people. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like I borderline get molested sometimes, so like, but it's okay. And then he goes,
part of it, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, I want to see videos. I want to see videos of Fresh Raver doing the deodorant. So I had to show him like, because I have footage of Fresh Raver from Imagine doing the deodorant thing on people. He's just like, that's amazing. He's like, so do you have any hug videos? And I was like, I do, but I'm going to show you the censored ones that I put on YouTube because the uncensored ones might get me like demonetized.
I know, you have to just like edit that out.
I edited, so I was showing him the clips. I'm like, you see how like it jumps from clip to clip? At some point, somebody's hand was somewhere.
Oh my god. Well, I do definitely want to talk about your YouTube channel and your blog.
Consensual.
Yeah, 100%. What else was I going to ask? What do you think about rave names? Because that's actually, when I was thinking about questions to ask you, I was like, it definitely, even when I went to EDC my first time in 2015, we met a totally random stranger. We were like sitting on the bleachers watching the fireworks, and this guy just leans over and he's like, I'm going to give you guys rave names. And he only ended up giving one person a rave name, but I feel like they're not, like some influencers like have their handles, which I don't necessarily their rave name, but like that's what people know them as. So I'm curious, like, should we bring back rave names? I feel like they're not a thing anymore.
You're completely right, okay? Right. Because the whole concept of, like, how raving has changed over the last, like, 6 years. It has. You know, like, Plur isn't the same anymore. Like, people are just, you know, everything's changed. And I was actually just talking to one of my buddies about Plur changing and how, because one of my buddies, like, he went to his first festival for EDC Orlando, and he's talking about Plur. He goes, peace, love, unity, respect. He's like, I get it now. Like, everyone's just so happy. And it made me really happy because that's how I used to view Plur back in those days. And, like, everything just changes. Like, maybe it's just that we're just so jaded from, like, everything that's going on. We see things that we didn't normally see back in those days when we were naive. Like, we notice people stealing. You know, phones are going missing. I mean, people are, like, just out of control.
And people no excuse me pisses me off the most. Yeah.
Fentanyl in drugs, like, really? You're killing people. Yeah. That wasn't a thing back then. And it's like everything changes. And I think going back to like the whole rave names, you know, I think we've gone kind of away from that. But I think people who are genuinely still in the mindset of Plur, like me, you know, we go from way back, like raving, right? Like 2013, 2012 area, where rave names was kind of how we started our, you know, raving. So for us, it's normal to rave name somebody, but nowadays it's like, if you really, really back then, like, I don't know, you don't really like rave name people anymore.
Yeah, it was a different part of the culture for sure.
Yeah, but I think we should bring it back.
Well, it's interesting because I mean, just from being like on this side of it, I felt like I started my channel partially because of like the reasons we were just saying. Like, I wanted to continue the community and like the positive aspects of it because I was seeing so many people just going and get fucked up. And I was like, okay, I want to like make videos for the younger generation coming into this so they understand like the other parts of this. So that's like why I kind of wanted to do it. But back in like 2012 and 2013, it's so funny how the fashion has changed too. Cause that was,
oh my God. Do you remember those like fuzzy, like leg warmers? I was like, I'm actually kind of glad those like went away because I don't know. It just seemed like everybody had Ugg boots at that point.
I know. No, it was like the furries and the Rave bras and like the flower crowns. Like those definitely all had their moment. Now it's a totally different thing.
I look back at the pictures and I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like,
really rough. I know.
It's rough.
Well, I was like in college like around like 2011 and everything too. And that was the phase where it was like the heavy partying, like the white with the neon shirts and like the party with and everything.
It's funny. You know what's funny though? Everything was simpler back in those days. Yeah. You're like, oh, what do I wear for a rave? I don't know. Just pick a neon shirt. Like I would just like, oh, this looks colorful. That's it. Like, there was no like, funny. You know, I didn't shop for clothes. Like electro threads. I don't even know if it was a thing back in those days. Like,
yeah, no, I know. Oh my God. Well, now this is good. Like we kind of transitioned right into what I want to talk about. So Manny was in my men's rave and festival fashion video, which I loved. And I think that was a really great mashup of a whole different styles for men. Because one, I don't think there is enough coverage on men's rave and festival clothing. There's definitely not enough like YouTubers and things like that. But I'm curious, like how would you describe your style now? If we could talk a little bit about men's fashion here.
Oh, okay. You know, okay, so kind of going back to you just mentioned something a little bit that kind of rang a bell because I was talking to Amanda about this yesterday. Yeah. How there's like a lack of male influencers in the EDM world, and I was like, I was telling her like I want to be a part of like the male influencers for our EDM culture because there just isn't enough males and one of my buddies, oh, by the way, that Man's Apparel video, great video. I got so many positive feedback about it. They were like, she made a good point, like making that video because one of the guys was like, I've been looking for a video on YouTube for like, somebody please like show me what I need to wear. He's like, I've just been rocking board shorts this entire time. And I'm like finally like a video. And I was like, dude, that's like awesome. I'm gonna let her know. Like, that's like.
No, thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. And please step in too. Cause I think, once you get enough requests, you're like, clearly there's the need here and no one's doing it. So like it was like a race against the clock.
And you don't even think about it. Like people like need these videos until like you do it. And like people are like, whoa, finally this video's out.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy you were a part of it.
But like, I guess from back in those days, wearing just like a regular neon shirt, maybe some neon colors or whatever, to now, I think I'm a little bougier. Like, I like to match. I like to, I don't know. I feel like that's like my it's two things. It's funny and bougie.
Okay, I like it.
Between one of the two. So like I like to shop at like Electro Threads is one of my, and IEDM are like one of my two big ones where like I kind of like, I love their style and I love to match those styles. They have great clothes, great quality too.
Yeah.
And then if it's not like those two like companies, whatever, I try to buy something funny. Like I don't know. Am I allowed to say some of the things that I don't think I'm allowed to say?
Yeah, no, please go ahead.
like my Adidas shirt, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people see that and they're like, and they're like share me on their stories and like their posts, like, dude, this guy's funny. And I'm like, I'm glad somebody thinks so.
Have a shirt with funny sayings on it, people. That's what I'll say. Go to his Instagram to see.
I have one that says, "Don't feed the horse drugs." I'm just like.
Popular one. I know.
I love funny things like that. So like if I'm not being funny, then I wanna. Oh no, there's three things because I've been kind of rocking my own like merch shirts and stuff. I was
gonna ask you, did you just get a new shirt?
I did. I've been testing out different designs, different color schemes. Cool. I just mass ordered a bunch of the Frisky Hug. It's like a 5-color scheme.
Okay.
I was just getting a lot of requests of like, where can I buy your shirts and I didn't want to keep charging people for single like shirts. Okay. I was just charging people like single shirts and it just cost too much money. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just mass order, and I'm already like done with like 20 shirts already. I'm like,
that's so awesome. I saw the one design. I was like, that looks fucking sick. I loved it. Really
I love like the trippy stuff because I was at X Games last weekend, and which was fun by the way. Elenium killed it, but this guy. Oh yeah. Elenium was amazing, and then the view of the mountains there. Oh, I mean, the X Games. I probably want to do it again next year. It was amazing. Oh shoot, I forgot what I was talking about.
No, your style. You said there's
yeah. Sorry. Oh, another thing about me, I have ADD. So like, so this guy turns around, right? And he's like, he like snuck in a bottle, so he's like drunk, and he turns around and goes, "Bro, your shirt." He's like, what? Either I took acid by accident, or your shirt's just really trippy. He's like, I'm like, thanks, man. Like that's exactly what I wanted to hear because that was like the point of my shirt. I'm like, thank you. Like. These compliments really do justice.
Right, I know. I was gonna say it's the right community for it. So,
but speaking of like apparel, right? Vibe with Aid was like she was kind of looking to like Shopify because she wanted to like sell things or whatever. Yeah. And I thought of something because like we all have like even the Fresh River has his own website and stuff like that. And I was like, it'd be really cool if we had like a centralized like EDM world Shopify website or something where like anybody could like shop their favorite influencers, like shirts, merch, whatever, stickers, magnets, pins.
I like that. Yeah.
But you know, it's an
idea. Well,
it's an idea.
Small community. Who was I just talking to? I think I was just talking with Aid about this. We were saying like the community definitely is growing. Like I can see new people coming in and like starting channels and like, you know, new influencers coming about, but it really is such a small community. And like I met so many people this past year, but I mean, how have you developed like your network? Has it just been being at all these events?
Well, it started off in California, and so I kind of like branched off from California, and I kind of started doing a lot of East Coast stuff. And it's funny because I actually got a lot more popular at the East Coast than I did in California. And I don't know if it's the people. Yeah. But maybe I think I just vibe more with East Coast people, which is weird. Yeah. And I don't know why, and that's why I keep coming to the East Coast because people love, you know, Frisky Hug. But when when I'm in Cali, it's like I don't get the attention that I deserve now. I'm just kidding. No, it's just like those are my people. You know, I'm from California. I love them, but it's like everyone just kind of seems like everyone's got like something in their ass. Like no offense to my Cali people, I love you guys, but I'm like from what I've seen in some places, it's like everyone's kind of like
different vibe
on their own. You know, it's not like a friendly community. It's like everyone's just kind of like doing their own thing. Versus like I go to the East Coast and you could see our community. Like we're together, we're all hanging out, and like I see that, and that's like the difference between like both sides. But yeah, I started off in California, and I honestly was just. That's the beauty about California, though. They have festivals every week.
Right, I know. I'm so jealous.
I was literally going broke. I just went to all of them, and San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego. I mean, I still remember like my first EDM festival was Identity Festival in San Diego, and that's not like a thing anymore. But like the festivals are always changing in California. You'll have it like for 2 years, boom, it's gone. There's a different rave now.
Sure, unless it's like an Insomniac, like staple festival that they have out there. Is it the NOS Center? Is that how you say it?
The NOS, yeah.
I kept saying NOS and people were like, you're not from California. Are you? I'm like, nope. Still haven't been there. Still need to get out there, but.
It's funny because like originally coming from like being a gamer, I try to use like my okay, I let my channel die for like 8 years, right? I'm like, oh, I still have like I had like 6,000 followings on that channel. But that was only because I was hanging out with famous gamers back in those days, and everyone was like adding me, right? Just from playing with this guy named Zergurez. He had about 150,000 following. So whenever I played with him, I would get like hundreds of followers after that because he posted me on his videos and stuff. And I try to use my Rave videos on that channel, and I lost hundreds of people that were like, "Why am I watching this crap?" And I was like,
"Oh, that's so interesting." Okay, yeah, it's totally different. Like, I guess it's so insulting.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, because like I never showed my face in those channels. It was always like they were like montages of like clips and commentaries with other video creators, and they never saw my face. So when they start seeing like my face and me being all crazy, they're like, "What is this?" Like,
sure, this isn't what I signed up for.
I lost 2,000 subscribers from all the videos I was posting. Yeah, so I just like so I stopped posting those things. And then I'm like, you know what? I just kind of use it as like a trash channel. And I posted this video of like where my those are my chanclas video, like a little parody. Yeah. And it got like 76,000 views. And I was like, oh, okay, like maybe I can still like use it to like throw some like funny skits here and there, you know?
Sure. And you're on TikTok now too.
I'm on TikTok now. Okay, that is addictive. I should have never gotten to TikTok. Like I've literally been in bed just like looking at TikToks till like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, this is bad.
I know, it really is. It's a time suck. But as far as like creating, I'm hopping all over the place, but fuck it. As far as like creating content though for TikTok, like I feel like it's right up your alley though, because it's kind of like funny skits, like if you speak physically, so it's like kind of doing that stuff. But I don't know, what is your strategy with it? Are you just having fun with it?
Okay. Yeah, I think my TikTok is all over the place. Because I want to post like small clips of like something cool. Like for Decadence, I was on stage with AC Slater, and first of all, I've never been like on the stage with the DJ. That's like, at least not at a festival. I've done it like a small concert and stuff like that, but they're like at a festival.
Yeah.
I was up there and I was like, look at all these peasants, you know? I'm just kidding. Oh my God, don't unsubscribe.
Guys, I told you this was going to be a fun episode. I was so excited for this. Please keep going.
I know.
Awesome. No, that's a cool experience.
So like, I thought that was like really cool. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to post that on my TikTok. I don't know why. I'm like, it's cool. Put it on my TikTok. A little bit of candy trade on my TikTok. And then what I really love doing are these like, it's like these like, they're like finger dances.
I love those. Yeah, it's so like the challenges too.
It gives me something to do. So like I'll do a duet and I will do it together, and I literally will spend like 3 hours trying to perfect the moves.
I was gonna ask, how long does that take?
It's like 3 hours. But and then that's when I realized, I'm like, wow, I literally just spent 3 hours on a TikTok that's only gonna get like a few hundred views.
It's so hard though. I know, because I've been like looking into it too, and it's like people were saying it's really not like Instagram where you just post a video and forget about it. They're like, you actually have to put effort into creating original content if you want like a successful channel or page.
And it's crazy because you use the For You page hashtags.
Yeah.
And those don't always work. But then I posted something. I put like the Millennium set, like a good like 15-second clip. Okay. And I put down like snowboarding, Colorado check, just like random like, you know, hashtags. And that thing got like a few hundred views versus the 0 views I got for a For You page. I'm like,
something else. Yeah.
I don't understand the algorithm, and it's really hard to like, I don't know how that works.
I don't know. There's something weird about it to me. Part of me is like, it just seems too random and sketchy. Like, I don't know. It just seems very random to me. I'm like, I don't think this is like as easy to figure out as like an Instagram or Facebook where there are like guidelines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, people are like getting TikTok famous. They have like millions of like followers, and I'm just like, and people get recognized as TikTokers. I'm like, that's crazy, because I couldn't. If I follow you on TikTok, I probably won't recognize you unless there is one person I would like completely recognize, and he looks just like Tom Holland.
Okay.
So I follow him because he does a lot of like Spider-Man like cosplay stuff, and I just thought it was cool.
Okay. No, yeah. I mean, it's so interesting. I'm curious to see too. I mean, as festival season happens and stuff, there's definitely like an opportunity to get a lot of original videos and stuff. So I'm gonna try it. Ultra is my first festival, so I'm like, I have a plan to try and get some TikTok content when I'm there.
I know. I love like how everyone's like we'll focus on like the videos that we're gonna do like in the future. Even so, the Fresh Raver yesterday, I was helping him record, and he had a professional mic now, and he was like, and I was like, dude, I really love how like you're putting the time and effort into like getting a good video, because he's trying to step up his YouTube game too. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna start putting my like good videos out there now, and I'm like, that's awesome, man. Like I love how like, you know, people put focus into the videos that they're gonna make, and, you know. I don't think TikTok needs that much focus though.
I know, it just seems so
it's just it should just be like fun. Honestly, I was gonna praise you because you've been uploading like 3 videos like minimum on YouTube, and I'm like, how do you, that's crazy, like how do you do that?
I don't know. It's fun. It's like all I do. I literally like go to work, and then I come home and I work until I go to sleep every single day, pretty much.
I was talking to somebody about it. I'm like, dude, like I don't know how she does it. It's just like video after video.
It's one of those things, like, we could chat offline too, creative outlet, and I can just like separate the two. So,
that's how I am with like that's how I am with like my after movies. Like I love my vlogs. Like vlogging is nice, but like where I really get like the most motivation is out of these after movies that I make. I love the editing skills, and I love going there, and I just that's what I'm passionate about, is like editing.
Yep.
And I'm a little behind on my after movies though. I'm still working on EDC. That was like back in November.
Yeah. The festivals put their stuff out like months after too, but
yeah.
Like, how did you learn editing?
Oh, well, I learned back when I was doing the montages for like video gaming.
Oh, okay.
But back in those days, I was actually way cooler than I am now, because I was doing like actual animation stuff, and like I was using Cinema 4D, which is like a 3D animation software, and I was using Adobe After Effects, and I was like really into like I don't know my editing skills were way better back in those days, and like so I was trying to pick it up again because I like it's been a while since like started editing and
Sure.
I'm using a different.
Well,
Yeah.
what do you think makes like a successful after movie, either for yourself or ones that you're watching from other festivals?
I think my hardest part is finding a good song.
Oh, okay. Yep. Fair.
Like I can make like magic happen, but I need a good song. So like I can make like black flashes happen and maybe like do in and out like things going on with like the video. But if I don't have a song that's going at the pace that I wanted to and changing when I needed to, then it's like I'm kind of at the mercy of the song.
Right. It's like two totally different beasts too, because I like watching both from other people. Like the after movies like give me a feeling of like it just gets me really hyped for a festival and like lets me know what it's kind of like. And then the vlogs, I want to know like the nitty gritty details. I want to see what it really is like. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm the same way. Like I haven't been to a festival. I'm gonna look at somebody's vlogs, right? I'm like, okay, like I was looking at like Dirty Bird Campout, so I was looking at AIDS vlogs, right? Like, okay, what is she going through? So that if I go there, I know what I'm gonna go through.
Yep.
But at the same time, like when I'm like trying to tell somebody like, hey, like the whole rave scene. How is it? I'll show them an after movie, right? Because I'm gonna get them hype, and they're like, I had a buddy. He's like, wow, you make it like look really fun.
Yeah.
And like that's wait, thank you. Like I'm glad. Yeah.
You try. Well, yeah. I think the after movie is trying to like capture everything in, and like you definitely have to approach it differently too, though. Like when you're at the festival, are you thinking of shots for an after movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Which sucks because like I'm thinking after movie and I'm thinking vlog, and it's like. I think at some points I forget that I need to be in the moment too, and I'm just like nonstop recording, and then I kind of feel like it all just passes me by, and if like the festival's over, I'm just like, dude,
I know,
like
it's yeah, you have to like skate that fine line of like, okay, I want to enjoy the set, and then I don't know, I'll definitely like take my camera out for like the first song. When I'm vlogging, I'm like, cool, let me just capture like his intro song or whatever it is, and then I try and enjoy it, and then every now and then I'll just like pull my camera out and get a few. But for like if it's an hour set, I might be filming for like 10 minutes of it, if that. So like in reality, you are watching the majority of it.
Yeah, I try to give myself like one day to just like no camera, and I'm just like like for EDC Orlando, I give myself the last day. That's why like I have a vlog and it's like 4 minutes long, and I was like I just wanted to spend time with my friends, my family, you know, like I grew this little small community. We called each other hoe base, right? It's just a little a group of little hoes, and I grown to love them. We're still like it's this huge like 45-person like group chat.
Wow.
And I've grown to love every single one of them. And like I'm like I need this third day of EDC to just be us. Right. And I hung out with them and no recording. It was just us, and it was great. I also was like super sober, so I was actually really tired. I probably should have drank to kind of like get my mood up. But gosh, I'm
Orlando.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't want to drink anymore because I was like, I don't know. I just wanted to have like a sober day, but at the same time, it killed me because you need to drink if you're gonna be that tired.
No,
you're doing home base. That's right. You're doing home base.
I was gonna say, let's talk about home base. First of all, everyone, go watch his vlogs. They are so fucking entertaining. I was cracking up watching them. Like, I don't know. You really just like capture how fun festivals are and everything. But yeah, home base next year, I'm 100% doing. It's interesting they split it into 2 hotels though. So,
okay, I mean, that's a little concerning only because like what if your friends are in a different, you know, it just makes things so much harder. And I think the convenience of everybody being in the same building was why I liked home base.
Yep. I wonder if they're just anticipating so many more people doing it. That's the only thing I was thinking, because like I highly encourage people to do it. I had so much FOMO like this past year not going. It just was like so nice when I visited for the 2 hours. All the parties are there, after parties, everyone walking around is going to EDC, so you're surrounded by fun people. The opportunity to meet new people is like endless. So
well, I mean,
I highly encourage people.
This last year for Brian, like all his home base stuff all year last year was like a hit. So like I think he's got a good point. It is gonna like double in size. I think it's smart because I think like he's literally sold out like all the tickets, right, for like home base. So it's like and after like the after movie came out that they had, and like everybody was watching it. Like that thing got like thousands and thousands of views in like 10 minutes.
Yep.
You know, it was like,
what do you think about it in general, like strategy wise? Because like for me, I'm sad that it's only limited. I know they do a couple. They do Sunset Music Festival and EDC is a big one, but I almost wish they did other festivals because now I kind of like that whole.
I know, I love it. You know, and like. I think that Brian, I think he is going to, you know, I say he should, but I'm like 100% sure he's venturing out to different festivals, you know.
It's a huge undertaking. I know it's not easy.
Oh, no, but he's got a really good, loyal team. Actually, let's speak about an incident that happened at home base. Spill the tea.
Yeah.
So a little bit of tea. So I was talking to home base, like their Instagram page. I forget who runs it. And I was like, asking, hey, like I got a GoPro, can I record? And I do like vlogs and after movies. I would like to like record inside. They're like, yeah, you got it or whatever. So I go to the pool party, and they hired some like, I don't know who their security guards were, but they weren't like really trained on the rules. So the guy was like, hey, you can't bring that GoPro in here. And I was like, are you sure? Like they said it was cool. Like no. And then like he pushes me, and I was like, oh, excuse me.
Right.
You know, like, okay, like I'll go, like, and put it back, you know. And then I'm already upset, right? Because when did he touched me? I'm like, I'm already upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm drunk. You can't touch me when I'm drunk. I'm pretty petty when I'm drunk because I get on my Instagram and I'm like, home base, you promise this and this, and like you like show him this, tell him that like, you know, we're allowing you the GoPro, whatever. And then I show it to him, and he's like, what's that? I'm like, home base. They just messaged me saying that I could have it in here. Like, nope. He's like, I just radioed it in. They said no. I'm like, you did not radio in. You just literally touched your ear.
Yeah, you idiot.
And then he like does that whole shoving thing again. Like I'm like, oh hell no. I'm like, I want to speak to fucking Brian right now. You know, like I forget her name, but she runs like the media. She came through and.
Is it Elliot? She runs.
Elliot, yeah. Elliot and God, I can't remember the guy's name. It starts with the J, I think. Okay. I forget. Brian's right hand man, right? Was also there, and I'm causing a scene. You know, I probably shouldn't have, because like, but I did. I was drunk, and you really stopped testing me.
Oh yeah, it wasn't to do with you. This guy just had a fucking ego that he was like.
Yeah, so you know, finally Elliot had to go in to like actually tell him like, hey, stop. Like he's good to go. Like we've been telling him he's good.
Yeah.
Stop. You know, and. I never saw that guy again, so I don't know.
On home base.
Go home base. No, I love home base, and I thank them. And Brian's team is like a bunch of like, they're really good people, and they worked really hard for the event, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing I would have fixed if I was them, and I know it's probably really hard to like organize, but we requested our 45 people, like you know how I told you we have 45 people. Oh wow, yeah. We all requested. We had a whole list of everybody's emails and stuff saying, hey, can we all be on the same floor? And they scattered all of us, and it didn't matter.
Yeah. No, I'm curious how that would work, because you would think you could get like a room block or something where it's like, I can't even imagine planning.
I mean, dude. I mean, planning must be insane for that. Like, props to them for even like planning as much as they did. Like, I think we were asking a little too much, because I was like, you know.
Will you be a couple things just before we wrap up here. What is your festival season looking like? So where can people find you? Do you know yet?
I know. Okay, so like what I do is I just buy tickets, and then I decide if I'm going to it later. Yeah. Because I just get the insurance on it or whatever, so it's not a big deal. Okay. But from what I have tickets bought right now, and possibly going to, is I have Forbidden Kingdom. Okay. That's gonna be over in Florida. That's in 2 weeks. Cool. And then I'm taking a break March and April. No, am I taking a break in March? Jesus. Yes, I'm taking a break in March and April. So nothing's gonna go on there. But in May I do have EDC Las Vegas, and then I don't really know what I'm doing for the summer. I'm still kind of figuring that out. I know I can do one event. I don't know, I was like looking at EZU, and I was like, I haven't done EZU yet.
I'm trying to get a lot of people at EZU next year. Like Vibe 8 has never done it, and she's thinking about coming too. I was like, come through to EZU. It's so fun.
I know so I'm still figuring out my summer ones, right? And then we're gonna jump over to kind of like summer fall area. I bought my tickets for Imagine. I don't know if I'm going, but I mean, I'm getting persuaded to go. I bought the ticket. I'm like, I'll just maybe go or not. It was super cheap. So Fresh Raver said he was gonna go again. A bunch of my yeah, the people from my EDC Orlando group, they're all camping there. I'm like, I have the ticket. I might go. But I'm also looking at Voodoo. That's a new one for me.
Yep.
I've never done Voodoo. I did Freaky Deaky twice, and then I've done Psycho Circus a few times.
Okay.
So I'm like, I want to do something new, so we're gonna do Voodoo. I have my EDC Orlando ticket still.
Nice.
As for New Year's to wrap up the year, I don't actually know.
A lot of time. Yeah.
I know, but I'm like, it's already like in November, planned out tickets. So Con Candy, she did Lights All Night, and then she did Decadence. I'm like, okay, I was gonna do that, but I wasn't sure if I could handle it. I'm like, she obviously just proved that you can handle it. I'm like, I might do something like Hijinks and maybe like a different, I'm gonna do 2 festivals. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I feel you. I don't know. I was thinking about a New Year's one too next year. I'm kicking it off with Ultra, and then I just said I'm going to do Ubby Dubby, which I've never done before. That's just like a quick weekend.
Everyone's going to Ubby Dubby, and I was like,
it was because the flight wasn't that bad and the hotel wasn't that bad, and I think I got a ticket through Pollen, so my ticket is covered. So I was like, all right, we're going to do a Texas festival. I've never been to Texas for one, so let's just go.
Dude, I love Pollen, right? So like I emailed them. I'm like, hey, like I'm going to X Games. Can I become a Pollen member? They're like, boom, here you go. I'm like, cool. So then like I sold a bunch of tickets, and that's how I got to see Eleni for free over at the X Games. I'm like, this is great. Not only did I get my friends discounted tickets, but I got a free one too. I'm like, I mean, win-win. We're all winning here.
It's such a nice exchange. A lot of people are doing it now, but yeah, it's like rather than just buying through the site, we have discounts. You have express entry sometimes, and then we earn points, and then we can go. So that's like what I can't pay for all these festivals. It's too many.
No, I mean neither can I. And like I'm so grateful that I saw Elenium too, because that was actually a sold out ticket.
Oh wow!
But Pollen had Pollen member tickets still.
Nice. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, I hope to see you at a festival. I'm not doing EDC Las Vegas this year. I'm very sad about it, but I'm sure I'll see you.
But you're doing Electric Forest. I mean.
I know.
Gosh.
It's gonna be crazy. That I'm really excited. I just got my flights this week, so.
So that's exciting. That's a big one on my list too. Maybe next year. I promised people I was gonna do Vegas this year, and I have other people I'm meeting up. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna do Vegas this year. I usually skip a year, so like maybe next year.
Right. Yeah, back and forth. Well, before I let you go, what is up for your YouTube channel too? Like, what's next over there? Some more vlogs?
So for my YouTube channel, I was gonna make another do-it-yourself video. I hate it because Becca beat me to it. I'm like, oh, dang it! Like I was literally gonna do a candy making do-it-yourself. So I'm gonna do one just showing how like my Frisky Hug ones, how I do mine.
Sure.
And then I have a couple after movies. And I also have a vlog coming up. It's the Shaq's Super Bowl party funhouse vlog.
Yes.
And it's featuring everyone's favorite people that was there. So like everyone's in the vlog.
That's
cool. It's gonna be great.
Well, that's awesome because like not a lot of people got to experience that. So I'm like very curious as to how the experience was. So I cannot wait.
I mean, for a free influencer ticket, it was good, but I would never go there
personally.
I mean, you'll see in the vlog. He had caterers, like people holding plates full of steak and full of shrimp and sushi and a bunch of margaritas, and everything was free liquor, free carnival games, free carnival food, free. I mean, people were holding plates of tacos, and I'm a huge taco fanatic, so like I was like, you win. You win.
Exactly. This is what I would expect at Shaq's Funhouse.
Thank you, Shaq, for making the bougiest rave ever.
Oh, God. Well, thank you so much. This was so much fun talking to you. I learned a lot about you that I had no idea, so I really appreciate you taking the time.
No, it was great. I'm like, okay, I hope like the airport doesn't make too much noise because like we're doing this. Like we're doing this.
Well, plug all your socials. Where can people find you?
So everything's under the hashtag of Frisky Hug. So for my YouTube channel, I just changed it. Thank God I have 100 subscribers, so I was able to change it to youtube.com/Frisky Hug. So everything's /Frisky Hug. And I even have a meme page on Facebook if anybody likes memes. That's for funsies.
Yeah.
I got Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Frisky Hug. Yeah, go check him out. Go see his vlogs. Go find him at a festival this year. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a safe flight today.
Thanks. Love you, Emma.
Alrighty, you guys, I hope you all enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Manny just brightened my whole day, seriously. Like, it was, one, I had no idea about some of those things about him, so it was really, really cool just to learn a little bit more about his background. And, you know, I just know him as a person who travels to festivals and has this whole big community around him and this big personality, so I had no idea about what he does for a living and just like how far back everything goes. So it was really, really interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about him as well. I really, really am excited about all the topics that we covered too. Definitely, like I said earlier, go check out his vlogs, his YouTube channel, the content he's creating. It sounds like there's a lot of fun stuff to come. So go follow, show some love and support. I cannot talk today. And yeah, give him a follow on Instagram. I definitely think, just continuing on our conversation we had before, that we should keep up with the rave names. That was such a fun thing. Like, I never really I don't have one, but like I have nicknames with my friends, but rave names were such a special thing to get back then. Like, I just remember at EDC Las Vegas 2015, like I mentioned, this one person coming up to us and gave my friend Brady, I think it was either a spirit animal or a rave name. And it just was like a special moment, one of those weird things that only happen at festivals, and you kind of just go along with it, and it's like it's a memory. It will always stand out. I'll never forget that moment. It's kind of like when you have your first candy trade. So it was fun just talking about the evolution of festival culture and rave culture and where it's at now and how it's changed. So yeah, really, really enjoyed that. Thank you, Manny, so much for coming on today and for chatting with me. You guys, if you see him out at a festival or if you see the Frisky Hug flag, definitely go over and say hello. Tell him you came from Rave Culture Cast. And if you guys have time, go check out the video that we did together it's on my channel just under Emma Kapotes, and it was men's rave and festival outfit ideas. I believe that's what it's called. It's just got great tips in general for all my guys. I can definitely probably have a full episode on this podcast about more of like men's rave fashion. I think that would be a fun topic to cover because it definitely is not discussed enough, and I don't think that there are enough people or inspiration to look to for that kind of thing. So I'm gonna try and do more content on it. You guys can let me know if you're interested. Always feel free to email me, raveculturecast@gmail.com, with any episode suggestions, people you want me to interview, topics you want me to cover. Maybe I'll do another Q&A episode coming up soon. So anyway, I'm gonna take a quick break here, and then we'll get into some EDM news and wrap it up. All right, you guys, we have a lot going on in the news that I'm gonna cover. So many lineup releases have been announced. I kind of talked a little bit more about those last week. So the main things I'm going to highlight today, well, one, as of today, Tomorrowland is officially sold out. No surprise there, that happens every single year, but congrats to anyone who got tickets and will be going this year. Have so much fun. It's a bucket list item for me. Some other things I saw in the news this week, Grizz is going to be releasing a song. It's going to be a night bass release, which I'm so excited for. I really like Grizz. I'm not like the biggest Grizz fan. I don't listen to him all the time, but there's something very like unique about him, and his live sets and performances are like unmatched. It's very entertaining to watch. It's a great live show. So he's releasing a song through Night Bass, which I believe is AC Slater's record label. If you're a fan of like bass house, guys, that is where it's at. I have gotten so into bass house this year. So that combination of the two of them I think is a very interesting one, and I'm very excited to see what Grizz does with them. Elon Musk also released an EDM song. You know, I haven't listened to it. It was all over Twitter. So that's very interesting. I feel like he's it's a special kind of guy. What did it say here? Oh, is it on SoundCloud? I think it is. Yeah, he rebranded himself as EDM, the engineer and entrepreneur who's 48 years old, shared a track on his SoundCloud, Emoji Records, this week called Don't Doubt Your Vibe. He shared on Twitter that he wrote the lyrics and performed the vocals. The track is a fairly bouncy progressive house number. It said, of course, it's not the first time Musk has dabbled in the music business. In April 2018, Musk, who has been estimated net worth of $31.7 billion, released a meme rap track called R.I.P. Harambe. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, go check that out, guys. What is it? Emoji. Yeah, Emoji Records. Emoji, is that like what it's supposed to be? Okay, anyway, so that's fun. In other news, Insomniac Events is suing, so we're gonna go into this. Insomniac Events is suing USC Events, and they want to now host their own festival at the Gorge. So just to give you guys some background about this, Insomniac put on Paradiso, which some of you might be familiar with. It's a 2-day festival that always takes place during the summer at the Gorge Amphitheater in Washington. So Insomniac, their founder is Pasquale Rotella. Insomniac owns EDC Las Vegas, well, all of the EDCs, Electric Forest, Beyond Wonderland, Nocturnal. Paradiso was one of the festivals that they co-produced, I believe, with USC Events. So I gather this year's festival, they had issues, and Insomniac has now filed a lawsuit against USC's parent company, Conscious Entertainment Group, and its CEO, Chad Anderson, for alleged misuse of funds during their partnership on Paradiso Festival. The complaint claims that Insomniac advanced over $2 million to USC so that the company had ample cash flow for payments to vendors. On June 14th, the first day of the event, Anderson informed Insomniac that USC had not paid the funds to their intended recipients. So Insomniac was later forced to pay artist fees to the tune of $215,000 to the talent agency, and then $638,000 to another talent agency, and all this shit. So they basically did not use the funds the way that they were supposed to. And so, I don't know, there are all these comments from like previous USC employees talking about the CEO, Chad. Of course his name's Chad, right? It was gonna be a Brad or Chad. Anyway, so it says, according to the complaint, USC has begun promoting the 2020 edition of Paradiso. Insomniac is not going to be a part of it. Their alleged breach of contract led Insomniac to terminate their agreement, however, forbidding them from using the Paradiso name or trademark. So that is interesting. So it must be called something different then. But Insomniac said that they plan to host their own event in the Gorge, so the exact same location, and it's going to be an EDM festival, and it's going to be this summer, so they're going to be doing that on their own. So hats off to them, clapping our hands. We love Pasquale and Insomniac, and hopefully that event in general will just be replaced with something else, maybe something better, because I think one of the biggest draws is the Gorge. The Gorge itself is like one of the most stunning locations in the United States to have a festival. It's one of the reasons Paradiso was on my bucket list, because I want to go to an event there. It just looks so fucking beautiful. So anyway, you guys have that to look forward to. I'll keep you posted as Insomniac develops their new festival, just because I'm curious to see what they actually do with it. And yeah, and maybe that's something we could go to in the future. So you never know, one door closes, another one opens. All right, you guys, we've made it to the end of the episode. I hope you all enjoyed this. Again, huge thank you to Manny for coming on today. Please go show him some love at Frisky Hug. Go follow him on YouTube and find him out at a festival this year. Hopefully we both can run into you guys now that you know where we're gonna be at. Again, I would really, really love it and appreciate it if you guys would rate and review on iTunes. Make this your Instagram stories today. It takes like 2 seconds. Tag at raveculturecast and at Emma Kapotes. And you guys just spread the word. Tell a friend about the podcast today. Share it on Twitter. Tweet it out. I really appreciate you guys doing that and spreading the word and growing our family. It's so exciting. Again, feel free to email me at any time with feedback, episode suggestions, people you want me to interview, raveculturecast@gmail.com, and also send in listener of the week submissions because I'm running low. So anybody, shout them out. I will happily mention them, tag their handles and all that fun stuff. So let's get some more listener of the week submissions in here. Anyway, you guys, I hope you all have an awesome day wherever you're listening from. Thank you so much for checking this out, and I will be back next Wednesday with a new episode. Peace.